Indian industrialist Gautam Adani has recently witnessed a significant increase in his wealth, which has catapulted him into the ranks of the top 5 richest persons in the world. Mr. Adani is in a strong position to see a continuous rise in his wealth as a result of his diversification efforts as well as his concentration on industries that are essential to the goals of the Indian government about economic growth. Mr. Adani has been the recipient of several government contracts in various areas where the government wants India to become self-reliant. As a result of Mr. Adani's many astute moves to expand in many essential sectors, India has become more self-sufficient. Today we will be looking at $200 billion man Gautam Adani, who came from nothing. Before we begin, please like and subscribe to our channel. Chasing dreams over education. Like Mukesh Ambani, Gautam Adani did not complete his education. In fact, he was in the midst of his final year of college when he made the decision to pursue his passion for business instead. His initial attempt was to break into the lucrative diamond market in Mumbai, but he quickly abandoned that endeavor and returned back to Gujarat, his native state, to assist his brother in the plastics business. In 1988, he took the plunge and established his own business, which he named Adani Enterprises. It would eventually become the flagship company of the group and have its fingers in a variety of industries, ranging from media to cement. He has witnessed a meteoric rise in his fortune, which has catapulted him into the ranks of the top few wealthiest persons in the world. Mr. Adani is in a solid position to see a continuous rise in his fortunes as a result of his focus on industries that are essential to the economic growth objectives of the Indian government and his diversification of his business holdings. Mr. Adani has been the recipient of several government contracts in various areas where the government wants India to become self-reliant. As a result of Mr. Adani's many astute moves to expand in many essential sectors, India has become more self-sufficient. From $10 billion to $100 billion. Even if he is over $100 billion now, Gautam Adani is still 10 times richer than he was just 2 years ago, when his net worth was only $10 billion. He is still the 6th richest person, only behind Elon Musk, Bernard Arnault, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates. That is an amazing bunch of guys to be following behind. Warren Buffett is the world's richest person. He has never stopped learning. He had not received an advanced education from any of the leading business schools. Through observation of other company practices, he gained knowledge of the industry, including the significance of demand and supply. He is a sharp observer who comprehends the areas in which additional demand can emerge and is a firm believer in making the most of opportunities as soon as they present themselves. In his port, Adani constructed an airport that is 2 kilometers long and can accommodate large aircraft. It is the only port in India that has a landing strip for aircraft. He intends to develop it into a fully functional system that can manage the transportation of high-value, low-volume products such as pharmaceuticals and diamonds. Surprising facts about Gautam Adani. Adani had planned to pursue a degree in commerce at Gujarat University, but he withdrew from his program in the middle of the second year. After dropping out of college and deciding not to continue working in his father's textile business, Gautam Adani found work in the decade of the 1980s as a diamond sorter in the city of Mumbai. At the age of 20, Adani became a millionaire after becoming successful in the diamond dealing business that he had launched. In 1988, he established a business that dealt in the import and export of various commodities. It was alleged that in 1998, Adani was kidnapped at gunpoint for ransom after he and another guy had just left a bar in Ahmedabad. They were later released from captivity after paying the demanded ransom. The workers at the hotel helped Adani hide in a basement from the terrorists who stormed the Taj, which is where Adani was dining at the time of the 26/11 assaults. Adani came dangerously near to being killed during these attacks. According to what he has been quoted as saying, he observed militants entering the building as he was sitting at the table where they were sitting. A man with a knack to recognize an opportunity when it comes knocking at your door. The capacity to see opportunities ahead of time and take them when they present themselves are two of the skills that set successful people apart from the rest of the population. That is demonstrated by Adani every day. When the doors of the Indian economy were open to globalization, he recognized the potential that were presented. It turned out to be a blessing for him. He took advantage of the circumstances by rapidly diversifying his business in order to seize the new market. Adani established the Adani Group in 1988, however at the time of its inception, his company dealt primarily in agricultural goods and power. But all of that changed in 1991, when a new era for the Indian economy began to take shape.
Adani recognized the need to diversify its operations in light of the changing demands of the market.
Adani Group eventually became a conglomerate, diversifying its operations over time to include coal trading and mining, electricity generation and transmission, gas distribution, oil and gas exploration, ports, and special economic zones. Adani believes in giving back to the society.
In spite of the meteoric rise to stardom that he experienced, Gautam never lost touch with his humble beginnings.
Together with his dental wife Preeti Adani, who also serves as the managing trustee of the Adani Foundation, he is actively involved in a wide variety of charitable endeavors. The trust works toward a variety of goals, including the enhancement of education and community health, the development of rural infrastructure, the establishment of sustainable livelihoods, and more. His life's lesson for all. When we dig into Gautam's past, we see that his rise to the top of his field wasn't an easy one.
He is a self-made billionaire who began with nothing.
And just like everyone else, he had to put in a lot of hard work to get where he is now. However, he was also a visionary who had learned from a young age to make the most of chances when they presented themselves.
The following are some of the important lessons that can be taken away from Gautam Adani's life.
Adani is a pioneer in many ways. The significance of ports to the expansion of an economy dawned on him at that moment. Adani was able to create a monopoly over the merchant port industry because the company recognized the lucrative potential of these ports. He is currently the owner of the most ports in India and is working to construct additional ports both within India and in other countries.
Shift your focus to long-term value generation.
Because of his keen business sense, he was aware of the significance of comprehending the requirements of his contemporaries in the industrialist community as well as his competitors for long-term prospects and profits. And over time, his education ultimately assisted him in establishing a monopoly. The year 2019 places Adani in third place among the most amazing individuals in India.
The narrative of his life illustrates how a man may rise from modest beginnings to become one of the most successful industrialists of his generation via the power of concentration and dogged perseverance.
Reading about the lives of influential people can often provide us with the sense of purpose and direction that we have been looking for in our own lives.
That's a wrap for today's video. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments down below.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more future